What's going on, guys? Get123 here with episode 45 of GTA 5 Talk, and today's topic was submitted by Freedom Like Summer, and he said, Gitchy, could you tell us what you think traffic will be like in GTA 5? Heavier traffic around event centers and morning, evening rush hours would be a nice touch. Real-time traffic reports would make heist planning even more challenging, and it would really add a new level of immersion if you could blend into heavier traffic after an event at an arena to evade the police. Much like in the movie Drive. What are your thoughts? And that was a top-rated comment with 48 thumbs up, and I think that is just a great question, great topic, so that is what we're going to talk about today. So, as always, before we talk about the future, we must talk about the past, and in GTA 4, the traffic was, it was alright, it was better than previous games, but it was not perfect. In fact, it was far from perfect. I think at one point, we have all gotten bored of playing Grand Theft Auto, so we decided, hey, you know what, I'm gonna drive like a normal pedestrian, I'm gonna obey traffic laws, I'm gonna go the speed limit, and I'm gonna stop at red lights. Well, here's the thing, when you did that in GTA 4, if you stopped at a red light like a normal pedestrian, the cars behind you would honk at you, they would cuss you out, they would rear-end you, and eventually they would just go around you thinking that you're some total asshole, even though you're just obeying the traffic laws like everyone else. So the AI drivers were not very good at, detecting when you were just trying to drive like a normal person. And that created a bit of a disconnect from reality. And that to me was a little bit unfortunate, because Grand Theft Auto is supposed to be realistic, and most of it is realistic. Like even the cops were a little bit wonky here and there, but for the most part, it's all very realistic. The way pedestrians react to you is pretty good, but, if you were stopped in the middle of the street at a red light, people going around you and honking at you and hitting your car is not. So now let's brainstorm ways that traffic could be improved in Grand Theft Auto 5. First off, Rockstar just needs to fix those simple little things that made it annoying in GTA 4. If we're stopped at a red light, maybe, they need to create AI that recognizes that that is a traffic light in front of us and that we are stopped at it. Because, every now and then we all like to roleplay, as I said. When you get bored of the missions and everything, you hit that point where it's like, you know what, I want to act like a normal pedestrian. Well, we should be allowed to do that. But also, the traffic, as far as, let's say density, wasn't that realistic in GTA 4. What I mean is, the amount of cars never really changed by the time of day. Maybe in the middle of the night you might see a few less cars, and definitely a lot less people, but I want to see rush hour at, Grand Theft Auto 5, and, I'm no video game programmer or anything, but in my opinion, I would think that that would be a relatively simple thing to program. That, when 4, 5, 6 o'clock rolls around, that the traffic level just kind of steps up a little bit and there are more cars. Then as the time gets later into the night, the spawning kind of dwindles down a little bit and there are less cars. And then all the way to midnight and 3 a.m. and then there are, barely any cars on the street. And then, next morning at 6, 7, 8 a.m. when people are going to work, rush hour picks up again. That would be a wonderful way to make the game just a tad more realistic and just make it that much more lively, to make it feel like a living, breathing society that we're all really taking part in. And then just like the comment question mentioned, we could take advantage of these changing traffic levels when planning our missions. Let's say we don't want a lot of traffic because we've got to make a quick escape and get to the safe house as fast as possible. We don't want anything in the way. Let's plan to go out on the mission at 3 a.m. and get it done. Or let's say it's a different mission where you want to blend in with other cars, you want to just kind of, instead of doing a fast car chase, just blend in as long as possible and slowly just kind of get to the safe house. Then you'd maybe want to plan it for 5 or 6 in the afternoon with the rush hour traffic. So this would also add a whole new level of strategy of planning with these missions. And then also, as the comment question mentioned, we should have higher traffic levels around events, as it said. We've got basically the equivalent of, I think it's the Staples Center in Grand Theft Auto 5. It's obviously the Staples Center in Los Angeles, so I believe that's what it's modeled after in-game. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments below. But, there should be higher traffic levels around that. And then maybe once every few days there should be just a bunch of cars parked around it that, that would show that there's an event going on inside. And maybe we can go into the event, or maybe not, that's a whole nother topic though. We're not going to get into concerts and all that being in a GTA 5, but, just the general traffic around the area, and as the event ends, a huge swarm of traffic. And, we wouldn't want this to be too often, just kind of occasional, not every night, because that would get really obnoxious if every time you want to travel through a certain area, there are just way too many cars to even fit anywhere. So to kind of sum up this video, I do think that traffic will be improved a lot. Rockstar already said that they're improving the police a lot. They're going to be a lot smarter this time. So as long as they're improving police and pedestrians and everything, there is no reason for them to leave traffic as it was. I do think that the cars will be a lot smarter. They'll react more realistically and hopefully just have more even animations in general. If you ever pointed a gun at somebody driving a car, they just did pretty much one of two things. They would duck and then either like put their car in reverse or get out and start running. And then they all had the same animations. You know, if you shot them in the head, even if you shot them in the head, they would still manage to open their door, get out of their car, and then the second their feet hit the ground, they would hunch over and like die. So there was a lot wrong with people driving cars in GTA 4, and just so many ways it could be improved. So guys, tell me in the comments below, how would you improve traffic in GTA 5? What would you do to make it better? And also, as a quick side note, I'm becoming more active on my Gitchy1230 Twitter account, so if you're on Twitter and everything, go ahead and follow me. I'll keep you guys updated with what I'm doing as far as my channel goes, but also just my random silly thoughts, whatever might pop into my head, whatever. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I will see you next time.